The year is 583 of the Second Era, and off the southern coast of Valenwood lies a small little island known as Khenarthi's Roost. This tiny island is home to the Khajiit and, surprisingly enough, the Maormer. But we will get into that a little bit later. First, let's explore the island's namesake, Khenarthi, the Khajiit goddess of weather and sky, and their interpretation of Khenareth. Legend has it, Khenarthi came to rest on a tree on the island, which can be found just west of the city of Mistral. The capital of Khenarthi's Roost is the aforementioned Mistral, and is key for trading with the rest of Tamriel. The island's inhabitants worship Khenarthi along with Joan and Jode, which, naturally, has led to the three Khajiit temples, Crescent Moons, Dark Moon, and the Two Moons Dance Temple. The island is your typical tropical island, with beautiful shores, rolling hills, and bountiful moon sugar plantations, which is the island's key export. You could describe Khenarthi's Roost as lush and plentiful scene painted on a beautiful canvas of bright blue ocean. However, the moon sugar that is grown on the island is just as much of a curse as it is a blessing. Moon sugar, once put through a distillation process, transforms into what the denizens of Tamriel call skooma. Skooma is an illegal narcotic that is used across Tamriel. This, like any other illicit good, tends to attract the wrong crowds, causing pirates and smugglers to frequent the island. While exploring Khenarthi's Roost in the Elder Scrolls Online, you may meet a Khajiit named Zulana, whose husband succumbed to the drug's addictive nature. While speaking with her, she offers the quest Moon Sugar Medicament, which will put you up against these skooma smugglers. In the Elder Scrolls Online, it is the starting location option for players who have pledged fealty to the Aldmeri Dominion, and has just about everything you would need for a new player just starting off in the Elder Scrolls Online. In the Elder Scrolls Online, Khenarthi's Roost has 5 main story quests, 2 way shrines, 9 points of interest, 5 striking locales, and 6 sky shards, all of which can be tracked with the map completion and zone guide. Khenarthi's Roost is also home to several creatures not native to this part of Tamriel. This is a direct effect of having such a busy port city. Few of the creatures imported to the island are Skeevers from Skyrim, Aelits from Morrowind, Thunderbugs from Valenwood, along with the terrifying giant snake. A rare fish, the Pyandonian ray, part of the Khenarthi's Roost zone guide, can also be caught while fishing here. Finally, harpies seem to be the third most prominent resident of the island. Third only to the Khajiit and the Maormer. The points of interest on Khenarthi's Roost that I talked about earlier are going to be a dock northeast of Mistral, the Cat's Eye Quay, a ruined Imperial fort on the south side of the island, Eagle Strand, a cave in the northeast of the island, Hazek's Hollow, a farm in the southwest, Laughing Moon's Plantation, the port city of Mistral itself, a series of shipwrecks on the western coast, which is the Shattered Shoals, a farm in the southeast, Speckled Shell Plantation, a ruined Khajiit temple on the eastern side, called the Temple of the Morning Spring, and a farm in the northwest, called Windcatcher Plantation. As far as the striking locales go, on the northwestern shore of Khenarthi's Roost, there's a small camp called Bolga's Hunting Camp. In the northeast, there's a small ruined Khajiit temple called Brilthar's Solace. On the south side of the island, there's a Khajiit temple called the Temple of the Crescent Moons, another temple in the west of the island called the Dark Moon Temple, and on the southwestern shore is the Temple of the Two Moons Dance. Also, on Khenarthi's Roost, there's a small player house at the Laughing Moon's plantation. It's called Moonmark House. In the southern part of the island, there's the Wayshrine of Khenarthi's Roost Wayshrine. And of course, near the Marimer Embassy in the port city of Mistral is the Mistral Wayshrine. Now, I don't want to give away too much. I want you to be able to explore the island. But the first Sky Shard can be found right here at Eagle Strand. The oddity of Mistral is, as I stated at the beginning of this video, it's home to both the Khajiit and the Marimer, which, along with a lot of boring political mumbo-jumbo, has come into fruition from the signing of the Treaty of Khenarthi's Roost, which I will outline for you in here. Treaty of Khenarthi's Roost. Whereas the citizens and leadership of the sovereign island of Khenarthi's Roost recognize the capability of Marimer enforcement squadrons for acute destruction and wish to establish a peaceful and fiscally advantageous accord. Whereas, both parties acknowledge that the creation of terms for a mutually beneficial treaty is desirable and necessary, and that the involvement of outside military or political bodies would be material detrimental to both the Marimer interest and the trade profitability of Mistral. Under the auspices of the illustrious and wise King Orgnum, voice of the free Marimer people, commander of 12 dozen and one mighty ships, faithful and bold representative of the might of the Marimer, and under those of the lesser peoples of Khenarthi's Roost, the two parties shall henceforth abide by the terms agreed to and set forth in the articles of this treaty. Article 1. An embassy shall be prominently established in the port city of Mistral to accommodate a Marimer ambassador and associated retinue. Costs shall be afforded by the people of Khenarthi's Roost who agree to supply a personal staff of no less than 15 servants, finely woven tapestries depicting the generous and wise Marimer people, personalized and embroidered cotton bedding, and a stock of local and imported liquors. Article 2. All individuals and organizations wishing to engage in commerce via the port city of Mistral must henceforth be registered and obtain official rights of passage. Registration fees are to be determined by the ambassador on a ship-by-ship basis. Those who refuse such fees will be treated as enemy agents and are subject to the confiscation of materials and imprisonment under the auspices of Marimer law. Marimer leadership reserves the right to inspect any vessel in the port and surrounding waters for any reason, and to confiscate any goods considered contraband. Article 3. Marimer enforcement squadrons shall not perpetrate unprovoked acts of aggression towards merchant ships in or around the port city of Mistral, and likewise shall not interfere with approved trade affairs. Any current prisoners of the two signatories shall be released immediately upon signing of this treaty. Said squadrons shall act in self-defense and under reasonable suspicion of activities of enemy agents, as recognition for Marimer non-interference. 15% of all registry fees and exercise shall be rendered unto the embassy of the 15th of every month. Article 4. A joint holiday shall be established to commemorate this signing on today's date. Such holiday shall be afforded at the expense of the people of Mistral to demonstrate peace between the parties' adherents to this treaty. The celebration shall be named Serpent's Glory, and on this day, Marmor dignitaries and selected mer, men, and others of note shall be invited to the island of Khenarthi's Roost for feasting, music, and revelry in the party's common success and accord. Article 4. Addendum 1. Attendance of general festivities during Serpent's Glory is permitted to residents of the port city of Mistral, though feast participation shall be limited to Marmor invitees, the mayor of Khenarthi's Roost, and no more than 3 guests selected by the mayor and approved by the ambassador. Foodstuffs shall be prepared by Marmor chefs, music performed by Marmor minstrels, and under no circumstances shall the repugnant dish sugared cuttlefish be served. Article 5. The ambassador and the people of Khenarthi's Roost agree to review the terms, negotiate any necessary addenda, and reaffirm their mutual commitment to a lasting and profitable peace on a decennial basis. Well, there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Elder Scrolls Online content, and be sure to follow me on X at @casual_ranger and TikTok at @thecasualranger. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.
All of this just works.